Hey guys, Provo1701 here. Today we're going to talk about Masters of the Universe Revelations, the new He-Man cartoon that just came out on Netflix, and I liked it. And this is someone who grew up as a He-Man fan. I loved the Filmation cartoon when I was a kid. Didn't really care for New Adventures when it came out, and loved the 2002 series when it came out as well. I have a bunch of the figures. I've got my Classics figures over there. I've got my Origins figures actually displayed on my Classics Castle Grayskull because that works really well for scale over here. And I've got a bunch more of my Classics figures and my vintage stuff put up for the moment. But I actually enjoy Revelations. I know it's different, but first off, the animation is fantastic. I really love the animation. I know it's the same people who did the animation for the Castlevania series on Netflix, which also has fantastic animation. It just blows the Filmation animation and even the 2002 animation right out of the water. Because the Filmation animation, that's really odd to say, was very limited. They used a lot of the same frames and stuff over and over and over. And while I think it was good for its time, the new animation just blows that right out of the water, plain and simple. I actually like most of the character writing in this, unlike a lot of people. I enjoy what's going on in the series. I really enjoy the voice casting. Mark Hamill's great as Skeletor. I know it's kind of his Joker voice, but it does have a more guttural sound, as he mentions in it. It does seem like it's coming from more further down, which I like. I think the cast is fine. I really like the guy doing the voice of Duncan, Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms is really good at this. Anytime people are talking about how it's such a woman's show, Man-at-Arms is still badass in this. Duncan. Anytime Duncan is on screen, he's badass. That dude, anytime he gets in a fight, he's whooping ass. I absolutely love watching Duncan in this. I think it comes up with some neat ideas. I love that Castle Grayskull was the castle of the elders, really. That's really neat. Explains why the power would be hidden there. I didn't think of that. That's clever. I like how it does that. I like how the first episode kind of starts out business as usual and how it explains how in the first episode everything breaks down the way it does. Seeing the power sword split in two is a nice nod to the old toy line with there being two halves of the power sword and how one is purple and one is kind of orangish. I really like that when they split up. Having Teela find out about He-Man is a neat idea, part of the title Revelations. I don't mind that, and I can understand why she's so angry about it. First off, it's been my experience, women tend to get more angry over things than men do, just in general. Not all women, but women in general. I had a girl I was dating one time who got mad at me because I was breathing too loud, whatever the fuck that means. So I don't really have a hard time believing that Teela would be as angry as she would over this. One, she's probably grieving Adam dying, and so she's got a lot going on emotionally. He-Man just died, Adam just died, the power is all gone, her dad has literally just been exiled. She's angry and she lashes out, and then having this secret kept from her, probably thinking that if she had known it, things might have turned out differently. And then there's probably that bit of right when she gets promoted to Man-at-Arms, all of this happens. So there's something that she's probably kicking herself too. So I can understand all of these emotions boiling up into her getting mad and having a fit. The way she does it works. I like Orko in this. My favorite character in this is actually Evil Lyn. I really like Evil Lyn in this. She seems like a pretty fleshed out character. You don't know quite how she's going to leap, especially the way part one leaves off. You don't know quite what she's going to do, how she's going to go. I really like, especially the conversation she has with Orko in like episode 4. She doesn't really seem like a villain. She seems kind of like an anti-hero for part of this. And I really do love watching her bond with Orko. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole show is, they do have this kind of connection they form, and I really do genuinely believe she tried to save him at the end, that she wanted to. And I like how she left her spoilers. I like how she left her helmet by his grave, even though she was like, he was a fool. that she's easily my favorite part of the show to watch is Evelyn. I want to see more of her. I think she's a well-written character, even more so than Tila or the other girl with Tila, whose name I don't remember. The other girl, I'm fine with her. She doesn't seem very fleshed out to me. I get she's an engineer, and her and Tila are close. Although, quite frankly, they just strike me as really close friends. I don't really get... she doesn't feel very developed to me. I have no issues with her, and I don't mind that, from what I understand, she's basically race swapped because she appeared in, like, one comic 30 years ago on, like, a page. You know, I don't really care about that. I've never heard of this character before, and I'm a He-Man fan, so I don't really care that she got race swapped. That kind of thing doesn't bother me in this instance. You know, I'm still pissed off about the IDW Matt Tracker thing, but that's another story. The King Grayskull race swap thing doesn't bother me either. I actually like that because, for me, King Grayskull and He-Man always look too much alike anyway. So I don't mind the fact that they race swap King Grayskull. It doesn't bother me. I actually do like King Grayskull in this. He seems very noble, like he was probably a very good leader, but while also being humble. Seems like a good balance of that, which I really like in this brief time we see him. Orko's death. I don't know. Maybe he's not dead. We'll have to see part 2. Maybe somehow he does get out of that. We'll see. I don't know. But I think it doesn't bother me. I never was quite as endeared to Orko as some people were. I didn't dislike him by any means. But, you know, every 80s cartoon seemed to have that little sidekick. You know, Thundercats had Snarf. Silverhawks had Tallyhawk. But I never was just a huge fan of Orko. I thought it was a cool way for him to go out saving everybody else. I really love the casting of Tony Todd as Scareglow. That is perfect. That's the best casting in the whole show. I love Mark Hamill as Skeletor and stuff, but Tony Todd as Scareglow. Because Tony Todd just has that creepy voice. I mean, I'm definitely getting Candyman vibes from him in this. He just has such a creepy voice. He is perfect as Scareglow. I can't praise that enough. I really liked Scareglow in that episode. Adam's done more like his 2002 self physically, which makes sense. You know, in Filmation, it never made a lot of sense that He-Man and Adam look exactly alike except for the tan. You know, and nobody could figure it out when they're practically twins, except one of the twins has been out in the sun more. I mean, it doesn't make sense for Adam to be so buff. I don't like the fact that Adam is a little too nice, though. I do wish he was a little not quite so nice. They do him a little effeminate, which doesn't really bother me in and of itself. I mean, it does fit Adam's character, to be fair. But, you know, like when he gets stabbed at the end by Skeletor, he just kind of... I think I'd have been stabbed and be like, I have the power, come on, change. But he just stands there and lets Skeletor take the sword out of his hand. I'm like... So, I mean, Adam does feel like Adam, I will admit. So I'm a little more frustrated with how Adam just is. Not in this cartoon, but just in general, that Adam is that kind of goody two-shoes, can't really fight, needs protecting type. I mean, across pretty much all media. That's just how Adam is in most of the cartoons. Even in the 80s cartoon, while he looked buffer, you know, he's still, you know, needing protecting. Although sometimes, even in the 80s cartoon, he'd jump into action. But yeah, that's just an inherent part of Adam I don't like, just in general, not just in this cartoon. I wish he was a little tougher. I don't think Adam's dead. I don't think they killed him again. I'm pretty sure he survived that. He's probably just unconscious. I don't think they'll write him out of the show completely for part 2. The Skelegod thing, fine with. Knew it was coming. The toy release had kind of given that away. Love some of the Easter eggs there, like the part where he talks about, now, I, Skeletor, become Master of the Universe, which is taken from the 87 movie. I love the 87 movie. And that part at the beginning when Skeletor does the, let this be our final battle. Also from the 87 movie. Again, love the 87 movie. I enjoyed it. The whole thing about Teela having a girlfriend, I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Because there's a couple times where they kind of glance at each other. And it's so ambiguous. I mean, the argument that some of these people make of Tila has a girlfriend, I'm like, no, it's ambiguous at best. At best. Queer baiting at worst. I don't see it. They strike me as friends. Yeah, there's two little small glances which couldn't mean anything. I really just get the friends vibe, that they're there for each other. They watch out for each other. You know, my best friend and I have been friends for 23 years, this month actually, 23 years. We're very close. You know, we can finish each other's sentences. We have all sorts of inside jokes. And his wife does make jokes every now and then about if I ever caught y'all together, I'd just be like, I knew it. But we're just friends. We've never kissed. We never slept together. There's no secret romance. Believe it or not, people who are the same gender can be just really close friends. People don't seem to get that these days. But it's possible. Now, it could be wrong. Maybe part 2, they do end up together. Fine. Keep in mind, this is not a sequel to the Filmation series. And I understand the confusion, because for a while, I wasn't sure either. The way they marketed it, they kind of hinted that it was, or even flat out said that it was. But Kevin Smith has gone on record for saying it's not. For legal reasons, it can't be. Somebody else owns the rights to the Filmation cartoon. Because of this, it can't legally be a sequel to the 80s show. It isn't. The Filmation show is just fine. You can keep it on your pedestal, even though it's nowhere near as good as you remember. And this is from someone who likes the Filmation cartoon. I can still go back and rewatch the Filmation cartoon. I like it. You definitely are thinking of it through rose-tinted glasses, I assure you. Because it was basically just to sell kids' toys. This one is much more adult, much more thought out, has a better script and better animation. Am I saying I like it better than Filmation? Nah, but it's just because of my nostalgia for Filmation. I will say that. But no, I don't believe I do think they're just really good friends. I don't believe She-Ra's going to get the Sword of Power and become She-Woman. I'm pretty sure she's going to become the Sorceress. That's how it is in the comic. She is the Sorceress daughter. I'm pretty sure she's going to take on the mantle of Sorceress at some point. And then I'm sure Prince Adam will get the sword back and will become He-Man again. I don't think they'd be dumb enough to go against that, but we'll see. All I can say is I enjoyed part 1. I loved having Alan Oppenheimer voicing Mossman, and I liked how Mossman was portrayed. I didn't like his quick death. That was a little rough. Although I did like the comment about smells like pine. Nice reference to the vintage toy smelling like pine. But I don't know. I think, yeah, I see all the hate that it's getting. I think some of these people who post videos just want the clicks, want the views. I do think some of them genuinely are upset and unhappy. But I will say this. So much was leaked about this show, and there was so much controversy about this show before it even came out, everything with Kevin Smith, everything going on about it, that I think a lot of people just went into the show with the mindset of, I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to like it. I'll watch it, but I'm not going to like it. And if you go into a show convinced you're not going to like it, then, you're not going to like it. If you go in with that just mentality of 99% sure you're not going to like it, there's a good chance you're not going to like it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I went into it with an open mind just because, one, as I get older, I'm just not as close-minded to things as I used to be. I'm not as opinionated about things as I used to be. I really like to go into it with an open mind. And I didn't go into it expecting to be Filmation or the 2002 series. I knew from all the leaks it was going to be doing its own thing. I didn't mind the women having a more prominent role. That's fine. I think they're developed well. The only complaint I have about Tila really is that goofy-ass haircut she has, which looks doofy. It's I think back in the 90s we called it a skater cut. I don't really like it with the shaved head thing. That looks really weird. But in real life, I see a girl with her hair like that. I'm like, that looks really weird. But it's your hair, whatever. But I was surprised how much I liked Evil Lyn. I do, again, I go back to that. I like Evil Lyn as a character. Would I like to see some more of the Masters back? Yes, I'd like to see some more of Clamp Champ, some more of Fisto. I'd really love to see Mechaneck. I really like Mechaneck. I always have a strong affection for Mechaneck. One of the first vintage toys I had as a kid was Mechaneck. I have my classics one out right over there, actually. So I would love to see Cyclone and some more of the vintage ones back. I am excited about part 2. I don't know when it's coming, but I'm looking forward to it. I actually enjoyed part 1. So let me know what you think. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you think of part 1, and be nice in the comments. Other things to do: click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. I do a lot of different stuff on here, mostly Doctor Who. It is mostly a Doctor Who channel at this point. So if you do like Doctor Who and are a Doctor Who fan, check out some of my other videos. I do have a Patreon as well in the description if you would like to contribute to that. I do have a couple Doctor Who polls on it right now that are open to the public if you would like to vote in those. Most importantly, though, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.